Hello, stargazers. This is Sandra from 7th House Astrology. Coming to you guys today to discuss Jupiter squared Venus. Actually, right now, I could say that it's actually close squared to Venus, knowing that Venus has shifted over from Libra into Scorpio as of recently. So it's kind of like a close square, knowing that Jupiter is also in Cancer. I think what's making it a close square is that Jupiter's later in Cancer, later degrees in Cancer, and then Venus is early degrees Scorpio, which I think is kind of interesting. So yeah, just discussing that for today while getting some nice cool tingles. I'm getting some nice cool triggers. This one was brought to you by Krista ASMR, and I think it was ASMR Lot as well too. Like ASMR Lot will go through like a public grocery store and then every now and again. Yeah, so I'll kind of keep that one coming. But with Jupiter squared Venus, one thing that we're seeing according to Astrology King is that we're kind of losing momentum when it comes to work. And with losing momentum, particularly not wanting to work, wanting more to play than anything, and just having that hard time. So I think I'm also going to employ invisible clips again. But except I'm going to, I'm going to use it just to kind of help you out with the aura as well. And then keep this one coming. Okay. But I think really what's really helpful with this transit, and I mentioned this in my podcast too with 7th House Astrology, that this seems to be a transit that repeats itself over and over again. And I think it's, if we didn't get it one time, didn't get the lesson at one time, we're definitely learning it now. But I think with that one time, I usually cite emotional EQ on this one, and I usually just say, like, when it comes to the working scope, try blocking, and I found this to be a success myself, because there are times where, especially in the workplace, where I wasn't always motivated, and particularly with Jupiter squared Venus, that's definitely the case. You just want to party, and you just want to have fun, or daydream. That's my big thing. And I think really just kind of blocking out 30 minutes of work to like 5 minutes of rest and play, especially throughout the workday, can be very helpful. I know with those 5 minutes, that would be a good time for me to just kind of rest my head from work and, just kind of daydream or do whatever I needed to do with that. Even where I'm at right now, too, with unemployment, there are times where I've had to just do like a little bit of work and then just kind of rest for at least a good 3 to 5 minutes and then try again. Because otherwise it gets really daunting all the way around. But yeah, so I think what I'm just going to do, though, because I know this situation can cause a lack of motivation, a little stress, just wanted to kind of take a look and see when it comes to that aura, kind of knock that dust, so to speak, of the stress there. Yeah, I know, it's like cutting cords a little bit. I kind of like to do that. I think I just love the sound of this too. Anyway. Let's see if anything's down here. Yeah, just kind of knocking the dust and knocking the muck off. Very similar to Mercury retrograde. Some of these aspects carry a lot of muck here. Got a little up here. Right up here in the crown chakra a little bit. Yeah, still going with that. Yeah. I'm thinking also on the thought space in that third eye chakra. Just that stress of, I'm not getting as much done, right? Just kind of getting that. Oh yeah, we got some, right back here. Right back there too. Back here a little bit more. There we go. And then I'm kind of thinking maybe just taking care of that throat chakra a little bit too. It's amazing like how a lot of stuff like this goes to the back body too. Things that are stressful. There you go. Awesome. And then I'm just going to take a long... I think we're pretty good. Just a little dusting here. A little dusting down there. And maybe a little dusting way down here too. Awesome. And I'm just going to clear that workspace so we don't have any more of this muck of just, hey, we're not focused and we're getting stressed out with that lack of focus there. Just clear away that debris, especially in this back body. I'm starting to notice that, and that's a big thing I've noticed with myself too. And maybe we might be carrying some things with this transit like we're not really worthy, and so not the case. So it's definitely good to kind of get rid of. Sorry, I'm seeing a little bit more in the back body. There we go. So clear that out. All right. So, definitely we are very worthy. Just because we're not really, motivated all the time. And I think this transit also teaches us that when it comes to motivation, it's good to take a break every now and again. And it's good to get that camera back in focus. It's good to, not just focus all the whole entire time. And really, just be able, I think, kind of just work with what's enough, in our field and in our vision. So that's always good. Okay, awesome. So with that said, I think taking some breaks is always nice. I'm going to introduce another little trigger. This little clip has a lot going on here, the texture and everything. I'll just show you. But I think also when it comes to being a square Jupiter in relationships as well, kind of feel like we're thinking along the grand scheme of things. What's a good ideal in the relationship, but maybe not always taking a look at what the reality is with that relationship. or looking too much for the Emma Frosts, the Betty Boops, or the Mr. Darcys. And the reality is, not everyone's like that, really. I know with this transit, I've also been feeling like a lack of confidence myself. It seems like I'm surrounded by a bunch of very ideal women. And I kind of feel like, as much as I'd love to be desired again, I know that's probably a long shot. But as much as I'd love to be desired again, I just kind of feel like it's a long shot. I can't, because there's so many idealistic women who are far more made up than me, or who are far more Susie Homemaker than I am. And I'm finding myself kind of revamping what I'm thinking when it comes to looks like that. But yeah, I would say really kind of ground those if you're in the first camp where you have a ton of lofty ideals. See if you can ground those guys down, and see, maybe like even keep a gratitude log of your partner, and hey, I like him because he's nice. I like him because he's honest, or I like her because she's genuine. I like her because, and kind of ground those ideals a little bit more. If you're in the latter half, like me, yours truly, again, I would just probably say ground down and see what's far more important to you. Like for me, with my beauty, is that really super important? Maybe it could be left over from, a lot of stressors that are going on in my life right now. And, really just kind of grounding down, seeing what's more important, and kind of using this time to see that maybe there might be something in beauty, in money making, since both planets really do govern money making as well too, Venus especially. But like with money making, with beauty, is there something far more important? That could be living up to a purpose. And I think, this is all occurring within my 4th house. And then just depending, Jupiter's in Cancer, so my 12th house. I think really for me, it's just working with family and working with the head, the mindset. And I've been feeling a lot of that lately. But with that, like when you kind of look at it like, is there a purpose here? You might make more room for wherever Jupiter and Venus are hitting within your chart, whichever houses you can, and maybe help with those houses as well. So yeah, absolutely. I'm just hoping that everyone also is well, especially with Venus square Jupiter. I know I've had Jupiter outside my health house in my 12th house, so I've gotten a little bit of a cold this last week. That's why I was a little MIA. But I'm hoping that everybody is well, taking good care of themselves, and definitely not being too hard on yourself for not getting whatever it is accomplished. And I know that this time too is like a very slower time, which we in the Western Hemisphere, we're not used to that. But yeah, with Mercury retrograde and now Venus squared Jupiter, it's kind of interesting. Now we're, especially within Scorpio season, which is very energetic. It's like we're trying, it's like life, the universe just trying to tell us just slow down, slow down, slow down. Easy does it. Take it easy. So working the spaces and working on self-care and taking it easy, I think, is also very beneficial. Well, stargazers, continue to be well. And between now and the next video, I'll see you then.